Yo, y'all ain't even ready for this story. So there's this scammer named JR out in Texas. Man's been on some wild shit lately. This girl Janie's baby daddy walked in on JR, straight up sucking Janie's toes. I mean, we ain't kink shaming, but in front of her baby daddy? That's some next level disrespect. Obviously, the baby daddy ain't having none of that and tries to put JR in his place. Here's the scammer telling how the fight went down.
Came back again, and I snuffed that nigga again and scooped him up and dropped him. So when I dropped him, I turned my attention towards his mom and his girl because they got the hammer. So I'm swinging on them. His mom hit me in the face with the hammer. I'm swinging on his girl, his mom. I snuffed his mom in the face. Bow, she dropped the hammer, right? So they still swinging on me. This nigga holding onto my leg. I'm turning around like, yo, is you biting me? I'm literally saying that while this nigga's biting me. I'm like, bro, are you biting me? Are you for real? This nigga girl and his mom still swinging on me. So I kicked this nigga in the back of the head with my other foot. Boom, he let go of my leg. So I turned around on him. That's when he hop up, flag down the car. Yo, call the cops.
But get this, instead of keeping her kid away from all the drama, Janie did the absolute most. Janie not only let JR around her little boy, but she also let her son call JR daddy on cam. Shit's wild, right? And as if that wasn't enough, Jake did the most disrespectful thing ever. Had the audacity to post that video of Janie and her kid in a hotel room. The internet went nuts.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Drew, where's daddy?
Right there.
Yeah!
But wait, it gets crazier. After everyone saw that vid, another girl, Lauren, slid into the scene with receipts, exposing JR for being even shadier than we thought. She posted her own story, talking about how JR finessed $300 off her from a Craigslist deal. Like, this dude is out here scamming left and right. And Lauren ain't the only one. Looks like JR been out here scamming multiple women with fake rental units. Here's Lauren breaking it down how she got scammed.
All right, hey everybody, meet James, Jim, Jr., JR. I don't really know his name, but he's currently scamming people out in Dallas, Texas, for rental units that he's posting on Craigslist, potentially other sites, that he's actually renting through Airbnb. So essentially his scam is that he rents a place on Airbnb and then shows it as if he's moving in with his fiance. He's originally from New York, I think. Has lived in LA, which is true because we have mutual friends, and has been living in Dallas for 4 years, may not be true, and is moving to Frisco because he just bought a house with his fiance, which also may be not true. So good old Craigslist. I've had luck in the past, truthfully, but this week I go to Sublet's Temporary and I reach out to him. The unit looks really nice. The ad doesn't seem like a scam. I reach out to him. He reaches back out to me. He texts me. We start having a conversation. And then he offers to show me the place via Zoom. So we jump on Zoom. Super cool. Talking 15, 20 minutes. Shows me around the entire place. And he says he has more listings or more showings that day. So that he would reach back out to me after the last one, which was at about 7 o'clock. Tells me they're running late. He didn't want me to think that he was going ghost. And I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. He reaches out and he's like, hey, like if you want to stop by. And I'm like, cool. My friend had just gotten back from training. And I was like, hey, you want to come with me? And so we get there at about 8 p.m. and we meet him and he takes us into the place, shows us around, talking about football, like how he's been scammed in the past, offers us wine, and drafts up a contract. And then request the money. So the deposit for the place is $300. So I send him $300. So I send this man $300 for the deposit, and I do not send the full rent amount, which I almost did, and it had failed. So I'm so thankful that it did. My bank had flagged it, nothing had went through. But he's like, okay, no worries. Like, yeah, send it tomorrow. I'll give you the keys, get the place cleaned up. I'll empty out the house of any furniture you don't want. And I'm like, cool, everything's good to go. Next day, we're in communication, trying to figure out a time to meet up. My time isn't working for him. His time isn't working for me. And so I'm just like, all right, no worries. We'll meet the next day. I can meet before 10 or after 2:30. Perfect. After 2:30 works great. Okay, cool. And we're still like chatting, like it's fine. So I'm like, no worries, like that's perfect. So the next day comes and I get a cancellation from him on Snapchat, on Cash App for the rent amount, and I'm blocked. I text him immediately and I'm blocked. So boom, scam reported. Contact my bank. Contact the apartment building where he showed me. Contact AirBnB, because it was actually an Airbnb that he was renting out and showing us his place. Contact everybody, confirm his name, confirm everything. And I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. Well, the night before, gotta trust your gut. I should have. I look up a hat company that he was wearing. He's wearing a very specific hat. My friends also wear like the same hat too. So I'm familiar. And so I'm like, let me just look it up. I look up the followers and I find him. All right, story time. My sister said to keep this short, so I'm really gonna try. All right, so I'm currently in Dallas visiting my best friend. I've had a really good time here, so I was like, maybe I'll sublease the spot for like a month or two. So I end up looking online and I find a spot via Craigslist that seemed pretty legit. And it's pretty easy to like weed through scams. And I've also, which I thought, but I've also had luck with Craigslist in the past. So I end up reaching out to the guy. Everything's good. We go back and forth a little bit. We meet on Zoom. We talk for like 15-20 minutes on Zoom. Right after that, he's like, I have more showings. He's like, but if you want to come see the place later, like you're more than welcome to come. So I'm like, okay, cool. He has all the showings, and then I go over there like around 8 p.m. I meet him in person. I look at the place. We like discuss more of the details, and I give him $300 deposit because I'm like, I want the place. And then obviously like I don't want to send the full thing. I almost did, honestly, which is wild, but I didn't. So I was like, I'm very interested. I want you to know that I'm serious and I want this. Like, don't give it to anyone else, but I'm not going to send the full amount yet. So he ends up saying, okay, cool. Like, some of the furniture I'll leave, some of it, like, I'll have tossed, whichever you don't want. So I'm like, cool. He even offers us wine. Like, he's doing the most. He's telling me about how he's gotten scammed before in LA and he's from New York and this and that. He just bought a house with his fiance, all of these things. And so that night I end up leaving. I'm supposed to get the keys the next day after he clears out the rest of the stuff and cleans it. So we kind of go back and forth. It doesn't end up working out that I can get the key because he was like at the gym. I was going to be like out at dinner. So I was like, we'll just do it the next day. And he's like, okay, sounds good. Next day comes around and he cancels a Cash App request. As soon as he cancels the Cash App request, I'm like, okay, obviously it's a scam. And so I hit him up and I'm blocked. Well, the night prior, I do some research because he was wearing a very specific hat. And the hat is a small company, and I'm familiar with the company because some of my friends wear it. So I look up the company, I look up the followers, and I find him. And I reach out to the company, and so I meet with him Monday, essentially. Tuesday, I start researching him. Wednesday, he's ghost. So I end up reaching out to the company like, hey, do you know this guy? He's scamming people in your product. Like, not a good look. And then I also contact the apartment complex. They confirm that it's an Airbnb that he was renting out for the past few days, probably showing it to a ton of people and scamming a bunch of people. It's probably like his job. And so Airbnb is blocking him. Cash App is blocking him. I believe my bank's probably gonna give me my money back. I'm going through the process right now. Let's see what else. On Instagram, I found the company, obviously. And then after finding the company, I just do some searches of his name, and I find that some pictures that he's posted, that his friends have tagged him in. I go to the friends profiles. I have mutual friends with his friends in LA. So I start adding all the friends, and I start sending him this message about him because justice needs to be served. And this guy is probably not only doing this to me, he's probably doing it to so many people, and it's so messed up. So the story's not over yet. It has consumed me, but it's not over, and I'm not gonna stop. So I will be dropping the information after, so I'll have his Instagram, some of his pictures, some of our chat, the Cash App. I'll send you guys everything as proof. But yeah, let's expose this fool. He deserves not to be doing this to people. No one deserves this. And everyone's been responding with like other scams that they've had, and it's just unfortunate that there's people out there like this. So hit him up.
JR's scamming days look numbered.
Not only, so he got $300 out of me, but this is like a huge operation that goes beyond me. Okay, so as soon as I received his full name, I looked him up online, and instantly you find ripoff report. Here, there's different articles about him scamming people in LA, dating back to like 2015, 2016. Also, there's articles from 2016 where he got convicted of having counterfeit devices. Here, it says that he's from Georgia. So originally I thought he was from New York, lives in LA, now lives in Frisco, Texas. But the truth is I believe he may be from New York. He lived in Georgia. I believe he went to school in Indiana based on the information I received. Lived in LA, and now lives in Dallas, Texas. So also in the searches, Walking Dead Wiki pops up, and it shows that he was in seasons 4 and 5. This, I didn't know this about him. I didn't know he was an actor. But as I did more research, I found another article where he states that he is an actor. So then it takes a crazy turn. So now I have like a few articles of him, and then as I do more digging, I find that he is included on a Wall Street Journal article when a sublet scam wipes out your starting out cash. Here he had scammed a man in Los Angeles who was moving there as a filmmaker for first month's rent. He said his girlfriend was pregnant and that they would be moving out. I bought this article. I want you guys to save your money, and you guys can see it on my Instagram. And it highlights, you know, all the details, which are so similar to what happened to me. So as proof, I've included my DM to him via Instagram from last Wednesday when I asked him back for my money, and he never responds. He's looked at my stories, and he even commented on my post about him. But in the comment, he was just talking bad about people, and he wasn't addressing what is at hand. And he's diverting the story and the situation. Like, what we're talking about now is bigger than my $300. Like, he's been doing this for almost 10 years. And so that is what needs to stop. So in my previous video, I said I've reached out to Cash App, my bank, Airbnb, as well as the host. And, you know, I'm not 100% sure. I can't confirm what he's blocked off of or anything, but I can confirm I haven't received the money back. And I can also confirm that I do not believe he's blocked off of Airbnb. So in their communications to me, they said that they don't have control over accommodations. But one thing that I feel like they should have control over is user access. If someone is a notorious scam artist and they're able to access Airbnb and continue to pretend like they're subleasing a place to people for money, how can they have a profile within their platform? It's crazy. At Airbnb, this man needs to be stopped. And other people who are also potentially pulling these scams. So to James and other people on the internet, I might be the white woman, also Mexican, crying on the internet, crying on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. That's all good, because what we've done and the amount of information that we've shared hopefully will stop this from happening, and also create policy and against like rental scams, you know, and even bigger than that, anything else that he may be doing. So I will continue to put pressure on these platforms to avoid this from happening from other people. And I appreciate you all. And, you know, part of me just feels like it's not going to stop here. So if there's a part 3, 4, 5, you know, I'll see you guys soon.